What's going on, motivators? We got a new video. We got to talk about Trump's new plan for the Strait, new operation. Let's get into this.
Hi, Joey. So just minutes ago, we got this news that President Trump announcing a new operation. This is Project Freedom that will allow some of the ships that have been stuck in the Strait of Hormuz to be safely escorted out of that waterway. The president, who is here in Doral at his golf club watching the PGA Cadillac Championship, posted this on Truth Social, saying, "For the good of Iran, the Middle East, and the United States, we have told these countries that we will guide their ships safely out of these restricted waterways so that they can freely and ably get on with their business." Today, the Iranians claim that the U.S. has responded to their latest proposal.
We are making it easier so that people could get out of there, especially the Straits, and we don't have this debacle in there. And we know that the ports in the United States are going crazy now as far as the United States making money.
And while a shaky ceasefire holds, diplomatic efforts between the U.S. and Iran look like they're at an impasse. Last night, President Trump posted on Truth Social that he would soon be reviewing the new peace proposal sent by Iran, but that he could not, quote, imagine that it would be acceptable in that they have not yet paid a big enough price for what they have done to humanity and the world over the last 47 years, unquote. The Strait of Hormuz remains a central flashpoint in the conflict, with both sides blockading the crucial trade route, choking the global economy.
Trump is coming out with this new idea where he's going to guide the ship out. We know the U.S. side is booming. With all the oil moving from the Middle East, it's coming to the West. So personnel are coming to the U.S. soil. Now we're looking at over 1 million barrel production a day. So
Trump is in Florida and is speaking to reporters, so let's listen in.
Last night you said we might be better off not making a deal with Iran.
Well, I wouldn't have to. I didn't say that. I said that if we left right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now. We're going to do it so nobody has to go back in 2 years or 5 years.
Mr. President, you also said last night that...
They told me about the concept of the deal. They're going to give me the exact wording now, yeah.
Mr. President, last night you also said that only like 85% of Iran's missile-making capabilities has been eliminated.
Correct.
Is that other 15% important? Does the United States need to eliminate that?
Well, I'd like to eliminate it, yeah. I'd like to. It'd be a start for them to build up again.
yeah, that's the thing. If 85% have been eliminated, we don't have much to go. We continue the bombing. We take everything out so there could never be a threat in the Middle East again. Never.
And yeah, I would like to eliminate it.
Sir, under what circumstances would you please start military strikes on targets?
Well, I don't want to say that. I mean, I can't tell that to a reporter. If they misbehave, if they do something bad, but right now, we'll see. But you know, it's a possibility that could happen, certainly.
I don't know. I think reporters are like so dumb. Like these people cannot be that ignorant or naive, whatever you want to call it, to ask the president when you're going to start bombing on Iran again. Like, what sense does that make? And they keep touting the same thing over and over again. We do not share tactics in public. We don't do that. Operational defense. Why would you give your adversary an upper hand and let him know what your next move's going to be? What sense does that make? These people are idiots.
Congress, you said the hostilities in Iran that started have been terminated. How can you say that given that the naval blockade is still being militarily enforced?
Well, it's a very friendly blockade. Nobody's even challenging it. Nobody at all is challenging it. Just so you understand, many presidents have been involved in things that are very big. They never had to go through anything with respect to Congress. They considered it to be totally unconstitutional. And the Democrats in Congress that push this, and probably a couple of Republicans, they're hurting our negotiating ability, which is infinite right now. And they shouldn't be doing.
I mean, those reporters make me sick. They know all of this. They know that Obama didn't ask for permission for Libya. They know that Clinton didn't ask for permission for Kosovo. But now they're going after Trump. Mr. President, why you're not going to go to Congress? Obama wasn't too far away into history. When that happened, they could still go back and find that information. But no, it's only Trump. It's only when Trump does something, it's always wrong.
The president's done it and shouldn't be doing it. It's never happened before. No other president's done it. and I'm not going to be the first. Thank you very much.
Speaking close morale.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, do you envision a future where American energy companies are operating inside of Iran, much like
Could be. It could be. I'll tell you what, we have a lot of ships coming up to Texas and Louisiana. It's a line of ships. You saw it in the satellite. We have a line of ships, big ones, 2 million barrels, and they're coming up. I mean, literally hundreds of ships are in line to go to Texas. I mean, they're already started, but we're selling a lot of oil, a lot of oil.
I mean, when it's all said and done, he's not going to be the first president to do it. None of those people did none of that stuff, and they know it. The media is so slimy, and that's what irritates me the most about the media.
Give us a sense and assess the extent of that damage and how it's affecting infrastructure and your ability to get back up and running in those areas, like, for example, Qatar and other areas?
We've been relatively lesser impacted by the direct effects of the conflict than some others in the Gulf region. The real issue relative to the global market, Maria, is that the energy system remains under extreme stress. The world consumes about 100 million barrels of oil every day. Roughly 20% of that flows through the Strait of Hormuz, so it's the single largest artery for flows into the global market. 20% of global LNG flows through that same strait. And as that has been shut down, those supplies are not coming to the market. Now, there's some that can get out through the Red Sea, but not nearly as much as has been shut.
And this is what pisses me off about the left. These people are holding the world hostage. And they're like, well, there's nothing we could, yes, there's something we could do about it. They had the same mindset and same issue when Biden was in office. They were all for it. Now it's Trump. Oh no, we should not be doing this. There is no one that should control international waters. That's why it's international waters. It doesn't belong to anybody. And you had Iran posing a threat to any ship that goes in there. Those things don't make sense. To me, like what we're doing makes perfect sense in taking them out so that the whole world economy could be free again. But with that too, you have all the people who are supposed to be our friends and allies, they're on the sideline. Weak sauce. Weakness. That's what I'm saying. These people are weak. These countries are weak. They only want U.S. to spend money. That's about it.
And so the world's short on supply. In the early days, weeks, and first couple of months here, the world's been able to pull on inventories that are held in various places, on land, in tanks, some excess inventories that were in ships on the water, and strategic inventories that are held by countries around the world for the case of an emergency. All of those are flowing into the market, but there's not enough to offset the supply that is being held back from the market by the conflict. And so in normal times, those surpluses work as a bit of a shock absorber, and they can buffer the effect of this outage on price. As that shock absorber becomes less effective because those inventories are lower and lower.
Well, here's the thing, though. With the supply that we're producing, also in Venezuela, too, that in itself going to try to curb some of that pain that we are getting. And once we clear all those ships in the straits, that in itself going to make it easier as that every other country come to the United States. We're open for business.
Going forward.
When I think about the Hormuz Strait situation and the security that is required there, how would you assess this blockade? And do you believe that it's okay and safe for these tankers to pass through? What is your assessment of the strait right now?
Well, now we know Trump's going to go ahead and he's going to do his part. With that, it's like, what can Iran do? They cannot stop the blockade. We are blocking them. They can't stop anything. We are in charge of this stuff going on. And all they got to do is just watch. Nothing is coming in, nothing is leaving for their part of the economy.
President Trump posted online that he doubted that the proposal would be acceptable. Iran says this is a 14-point plan following the U.S.'s 9-point proposal. Iran says that these were not nuclear negotiations, and President Trump has made clear that Iran's nuclear capability is a non-negotiable.
There has to be a wide open Strait of Hormuz, and there has to be a turnover of the enriched uranium and no path to a nuclear weapon. Those are the goals that the president's laid out and that we must achieve. And it really is in Iran's hands.
I mean, who are you going to believe? You've heard Trump said this for like 40 years now. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And you're going to believe that part of what he's proposing with the deal does not include not having a nuclear weapon? Iran is a propaganda state. That's all they do. They don't want to seem weak because the regime is like, it's really going right now. Who knows? There might be another uprising by the Iranians and take their country back. We'll wait and see how that turns out.
The administration is greenlighting more than $8.6 billion in emergency arms sales to partners in the Middle East. It comes amid growing tensions with European allies. Today, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz says there's no link between the recent comments and the U.S. decision to remove troops from Germany, saying, quote, "I'm not giving up on working with the transatlantic relationship, nor am I giving up on working with Donald Trump." Although last night, President Trump says that there could be an even larger withdrawal.
Why is the U.S. removing troops from Germany?
Again, those people, all they do is rely on us as far as defense. They know what they're doing. That's why Trump came in his first term and he's like, no way. U.S. is paying so much for NATO and these countries are paying nothing. And then we have our military in their country providing defense for them. Think about that. So now we're pulling and they're like, oh yeah, they're crying. I have no problem with it.
Now, in terms of this latest announcement, Project Freedom, the president says that this will aim to free up companies and individuals, especially for those who have been on ships that have been unable to move out of the Strait of Hormuz. The president also giving a warning, saying that if there is any interference with this mission to try to get these ships out of the Strait of Hormuz safely, that will be dealt with forcefully.
Wow. So we're going to see how this whole thing turn out. Trump ain't playing around. He's going to take all of those ships out. And they're going straight to the United States. Now, we're about to become the biggest oil export in the world. All right, so let me know what you think inside the comments. All right, motivators, if you enjoy what you've seen and heard, please like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe to A Black Veteran's Perspective. Stay motivated.